Nirvana, Serve the Servants. Okay, special note on this one. If you're trying to play along with the recorded version is actually tuned down half a step. So it would sound a little off if you're trying to do that. So if you want to play exactly as the recording, you'll have to tune down to, E flat, A flat, D flat, if you want to go that route. I'm just going to play it in standard tuning for you here because I know, most of us just want to chill in standard, don't have to mess with that. So we'll kick it off here. And it starts off with this really funky, weird chord here. Technically, we could call it like a E major 7 suspended, something like that, but it's really just like an intentionally kind of dissonant chord here. All right, so plenty of gain, plenty of distortion going here. We want to do an open E, a 12A, 13D, and a 14G. And just hit it and let it ring for a measure. Okay. And while that's ringing, we just kind of come down here and hit 14 on the E, and then 14 on the B, and just slide that out. So it'd be something like... Alright, funny little intro there. And now we can get into the main riff, or the verse riff. And with this, we're going to do, the first time around, we're going to do a couple of them just without the vocal. And then there will be 4 with the vocal. So this first time through, we'll be doing 6 altogether of this whole pattern. All right, so the first bit of it, we have these kind of arpeggiated kind of riffs going on here. The first bit will be a 2 on the A, then 1 D, and then 2 on the G. Okay, then we come back and do 2A to 2G, and then hit an open D. Okay, so. Alright, so that'll be the first measure. And then we switch to this part where we just do second fret on the D 3 times. Hit 3 on the B. Okay. And before the measure's out, we'll hit an open E. Alright, and then into the next measure, we just kind of get into some more just chords. And this will be, altogether, it's a F sharp 11. Pretty much we're just going to fret it just like we do a normal F sharp bar chord here. But you want to just leave that pointer finger up so that the B and the E are open on the bottom. Okay, but first of all, we're just going to hit the top half of the chord a couple times. Okay, then we hit the full rest of the chord. Alright, then we move down to an E major shape here. Same kind of strum on this where we hit the bottom half of it a couple times first. Then we can hit the rest of the chord. Okay. So just to put it all together slowly here. Okay, and then up to tempo here. Alright, and once we get into the chorus here, pretty straightforward. It's going to jump up to A, just an A power chord. You can go ahead and just fret a full-on bar chord because we're going to get to that part. But it's kind of how those other chords went, where we're just going to hit this bottom half of it. Okay, then we hit a full A bar chord. Okay, so then we'll just hit the bottom half of it a couple times more to finish the measure. And then a quick, just, open string transitional chord there. So that first measure would be something like this. Right, and then from there, it just switches to a C sharp 5. So just 4 on the A, 6, 6 on the D and G. and then we just kind of strum it like 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, and we just repeat that A and the C sharp 4 times. All right, and then to end the first chorus, we do an F sharp 5, and these are more just kind of like 8th note strums on this. Okay, so just an F sharp power chord. Okay, about 8 strums there. Next measure, we're going to move it up a fret, so we're at the G, but this here, it's just kind of like, I don't know if this was just like a lazy chord or whatever, but we're fretting it where we do the normal power chord, but we're also going to add the 5 on the G. So it becomes like a G suspended 4. And it's okay. And then just to finish this chorus off, most of these choruses will kind of end on a different bizarre, dissonant chord. This one will be a C suspended with a flat 5. So whatever that means. Basically, we're just going to do this funky, 1 fret up each string type chord. Okay, so we'll be at like 8 E, 9 A, do 10 and 10 on the D and G here. Just hit that. So it sounds nice and bizarre. Okay, and then we can bring our pinky over, hit the 13, and slide that out. Okay, and the next second verse is played the same as the first time around, but just 4 times basically. And then we get into the second chorus, which is the same all the way through until, like I said, we get to this final dissonant chord. So if you really want to, make sure you match this up, you can play this particular one here. This here kind of matches a little more like what's going to lead us into the solo. So, we get through our end part of the chorus here. Okay, and then we're going to come up and basically just do like a C sharp major, like the middle part of a C sharp major bar chord here. So it'll be 11 on the D, 10 on the G, and 9 on the B. And then just hit the 12 on the B with your pinky. Slide that out. Okay, now we get into one of these Nirvana solos, which are just, super loose and just funky and, I don't know, grungy, I guess. But it's going to start off with just a couple measures of this bending on the 4th of the G. And you want to kind of put some like pinch harmonics in there too, if you like. Just okay, and literally that's what all you should really worry about is just kind of just bending it back and forth for a couple measures. Okay, and then into this third measure, we kind of bend it and then do a pull off where we go 4-2 to open. Okay, and then we can hit some open strings here, the D, G, and B. Okay, so. And then we do a bend on the 3 of the E. Alright, and then 4th measure, we'll just be doing like an E major chord, hit the bottom half and then the top half of it. Okay, something like that. Alright, and then to the last half of this first part, do a 3 on the E and just pull it off to open. Okay, and then we do 2nd on the D, hit it once, bend it, and then release it to open. Okay. Alright, next measure. We do open to 2 on the A, bend that 2, and release it back to normal 2. And now to finish it off, we do 2 to 4 hammer on the A, and then bend the 4, and then bend the 4 again, release it, come back to 2 on the A a few times. Okay, so put this whole first half together here. It's something like. Okay, last half of the solo here. We're going to slide up to 6 on the G, bend it, and then hit a 5 on the B under it, and just kind of wail on that for a little bit. Okay, and then second measure, release it, bend it again, release it. Okay, so it'd be something like. Alright, now we do kind of that similar riff we did in the first one, where we do 2 to 4 on the A, bend it again, release it to a few 2s. Okay, and now we do this to finish it all off. We do this kind of scale here that starts on the 4 of the D, hammer to 6, 4 to 6 on the G, and then hit it again. Slide it to 7. Okay. Hit the 7 again, slide it to 9. Hit the 9s a few times. And then come back down to 7, 6. Okay. Slide back up to 7. A few times. And then we do 7, slide to 6, slide to 4. Slide to 2. Okay, so real funky, real loose here. We'll try it all together now. Alright, in this last chorus, everything's pretty much the same. This first bit, though, this first couple measures that we repeat, we're just going to do it a little different, and then add a bend in here. So instead of playing it up here at the bar chord A, okay, we're going to come down here and just play it like a normal open A. Strum it the same way, where we hit part of it a couple times, then the full thing, and then back to just a couple parts of it. Okay, but now instead of coming up and doing that C sharp power chord, we're just going to bend a 3, and then, you know, pretty much just bend it a half step till it gets to that C sharp. Okay, just a funky thing that they throw into this last chorus. So it'd be something like. Okay, and you know, rest of it's the same. And then this one will end on that first chorus dissonant chord, the C suspended with the flat 5. Okay. And then from here, you can just make whatever random noises you want. It's kind of like just an improv of noise, as Nirvana loves to do, of course. So let that rip and enjoy. Thanks for checking out the video, everybody. Like it, share it, leave a comment. It's always good to hear from you. Do me a favor and hit the subscription button. I put out a video pretty frequent, so you don't want to miss out on that. Check out the links in the description box below. I have really cool links for tablature books, all the gear I use, t-shirts, fun stuff like that. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.